Would you like to win and achieve success at what you do? Welcome to the Winner's Ways podcast, where we create winners every day. And now, your host, the author of Winner's Ways book and life coach, Bola Alabi.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Winner's Ways podcast. I'm your host, Bola Alabi. On today's show, this is episode 25 of this podcast, and on today's show, we'll be talking about how to write a winning resume. Resume, or as it's normally called in some other part of the world, curriculum vitae, it's a document that summarizes your experience or your qualification and education background. So when you are applying for a job, you use the resume to tell the potential employer about what you've done and what you are capable of doing. It expresses your background, your education, and your experience. So we want to make sure that your resume is well written and it conveys the right message in terms of what you can do to a potential employer. So we'll start by stating this. What is a resume? A resume is a document that is prepared for the job application process. It highlights your educational background, skills, and work experience. And the purpose of a resume is to present you to a potential employer by summarizing what you have done in the past, your career goals, and it tells the employer whether or not you have the capacity to fill the role under consideration. So that's it. It's a document that expresses your qualification and experience. So what should a resume contain? There are several things or information about you that you should have on your resume, and I'll go through them. The first thing, a resume should have your name. At least the recruiter needs to know who the job applicant is. And I want to make sure that you are using the right name. If you plan to use a nickname, it's still okay and acceptable, but you should stay consistent. For example, if your name is David, you may decide to use Dave on your resume. So the major thing is you want to be consistent in your job application. Number 2, it should contain your mailing address. This shows the employer if you are local to the job site or to the office. So it basically tells the proximity to the job that you are applying to. Number 3, it should contain your email address. Your email address is a faster means of contacting you rather than the mailing address. Most employer will just email you to invite you for a phone interview or to come in for a face-to-face interview. You should have, number 4, you should have your phone number on your resume. For phone number, most recruiter will just pick up the phone and call you and discuss the role with you. So make sure you have your phone number on your resume. And there is a practice that I've seen around. Some people will put 2 phone numbers or 2 email addresses. I think it's better to just stick to one, just have 1 email address and 1 phone number so that the employer can reach out to you. You don't want them to be guessing which one should I call. So make it easy for them. 1 phone number, 1 email address. Number 5, it should contain a career profile. A career profile is a summary of your career plan, career goal, and aspiration, and who you are. So you should have a career profile on your resume. Number 6, your education and qualification. So you should state the type of degree that you have and what field you got the degree in. So you should have that on your resume. Number 7, skills and expertise. Most of the time, it's also very good to have your skills and expertise. For example, maybe project management an expertise that you can add, if you have it, that you can add to your resume, or SAP, or anything that you consider as skills that you have. Please add them to your resume. Number 8, you should have your work experience. And this is very, very crucial. This is where you sell yourself to the organization or to the recruiter. For your work experience, make sure that for each role you have the company's name, you have the job title, you have the start date and end date, and you have job description. That's what you've done or what you did in that company. And finally, you have your accomplishment. What did you achieve in that organization? Typically, I make my accomplishment or achievement bold so that it will be catchy to the potential employer. Number 9, references. So most of the time, it's also good to have reference recommendation on your resume. Imagine you have a recommendation by someone like Bill Gates. Even if you don't know Bill Gates, at least have a good recommendation. It may be your college professor or maybe your old manager. Just have a good recommendation on your resume. So page requirements. If you have experience of less than 5 years, you should be able to fit everything into one page. Once you are going past 5 years and you've worked in more than one company, you may be able to have the maximum of 2 pages, but try and limit it to 2 pages. It should contain only the right and the appropriate information that will convey your skills, your experience, and your expertise. So don't include unnecessary information in your resume. So what are you projecting? The resume is about projecting and your outlook. So you want to make sure that you make a good impression to the potential employer. You know you are not there during the selection process, so you want to make a good first impression. And in the competitive world that we have today, for every job, there may be hundreds or even thousands of applicants. So we want to put you at the top of the pack. So the first thing you have to, when we consider what you project, you have to make sure you use the right keyword. So how do you go about this? You read the job description and first ensure that it matches your resume. One of the best ways to ensure your resume is properly positioned is to identify a sample job description that you are interested in, and you look at the job description and you compare it with your resume. You can copy and paste the job description in a Word document, and then highlight any requirements or skills from the job description that you possess. This will help you to identify which of the qualifications or skills you should showcase throughout your resume. Most of the time, the employers, like I said, they receive thousands of resumes for a particular role. So you want to make sure that you have the right keyword. And today they use technology to quickly scan through all the resumes, and the ones that have the appropriate keyword will be selected, while other ones will be discarded. So do your own work. Make sure your resume contains the right keyword. You also need to proofread your resume. It will be a disaster for a recruiter to find mistakes on your resume. So make sure you proofread, make sure there are no mistakes on your resume. It makes you look really bad if you have typo or mistake on your resume. Please, 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 I cannot overemphasize this. Many mistakes can be forgiven, but if you have errors, typos on your resume, this is portraying you as being sloppy. Make sure your resume is well formatted. Use same fonts and same size, no mismatch in terms of the words on your resume. And you should know where you want to bold, like when you are talking about education or your qualification or your degree or your career profile or work summary. You can make those ones bold, but every other information should not be bold. And don't use any fancy fonts. For a standard, it's good to use Times New Roman and or Arial, as the case may be. So don't use any fancy fonts. When it comes to how you make good impression, most employer today, they can search your social media accounts just to know the kind of person you are. So make sure that you are conveying the right message, and especially your LinkedIn profile, make sure it's up to date. Finally, your resume should also express the kind of person you are. So you can list the activities that you've done, maybe volunteer activities or any professional affiliation that you belong to. You can list those on your resume. You should also have a cover letter, which will be a letter that you send directly to the recruiter to tell them the kind of person you are, what you have done, your qualification, your vision, and your goals. And it basically helps to sell you and to make a good impression about you to your employer. Don't lie on your resume. It may come back to bite you. There's a part where they will perform background check. If you don't know, if you have not done something in the past, don't lie that you've done it, because when you finally get hired, they may give it to you, and or during the interview process, when they ask you question, you may not be able to perform and you may struggle to deliver. So don't lie. And if there are gaps, maybe there are times when maybe you took some time to for anything, make sure you are ready to explain those gaps on your resume. And that's it. Now you are ready to publish your resume. Now I want you to know that writing your resume is the first step. The next step is making sure that you apply, making sure that you prepare for your interview. You cannot over prepare for an interview. You need to know your resume. You need to know what's information and the details of everything that you have on your resume, so that when an employer or a recruiter calls you, you'll be ready to defend the information that you have on your resume. I wish you good luck and I wish you success in your job search. And hey, by the way, I offer a service whereby I can help people to review their resume. So you can reach out to me if you need some help in reviewing your resume to find ways to making it better if need be. Reach out to me. Go to our website www.winnersways.com and leave me a message. Till next time, you know my goal and my mission is to create more winners. I want people to succeed in their personal finance and in their career. Today episode was all about career, and now go win.